As you start to create strokes with varying widths, you may find the need to save those profiles of the widths so that you can then use them in other pieces of your artwork. For instance, on this particular document that I've got here, I've created a variable width stroke on this leaf of the flower. I want to utilize this same stroke on all of the different leaves, but I don't want to take the time to redo the stroke each and every time. So I'm going to utilize something called a width profile to get me there. But first, let's take a look at how we can utilize some of the built-in profiles that are already existing inside of Illustrator to add a little something extra to our artwork. I'll select this leaf here on the top, and I'll zoom in. And I'll add a dark green stroke, just the same color as I did over here. You'll notice once I do that I get options in my control panel, one that says Uniform and one that says Basic. The Basic refers to the brush that you're currently using. I'm going to leave that alone for now and focus on the variable width profile. When I hover over that, it tells me what it is, and I can drop down this arrow and I can see all of the different profiles that I have available to me. I can see width profile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's take a look at what some of these look like. I'll click on width profile 1, and it sort of gives me an idea of what's going on. I'll have to increase the size of the stroke a little bit to actually see it. So I'll increase this to like 10. And there you can see that. Let's go to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They all create a unique representation of the stroke, all using variable widths. However, I want to use this profile here. So how exactly do I do that? Well, I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to select Uniform just to make it normal again, and I'll actually back this down to about 1 point, where it was by default. Now I'll click away, and I'll select this leaf over here. Once I have that selected, I can then go into my stroke panel, bring out my stroke panel, and go to the panel menu and choose Show Options. In my stroke panel options, you'll notice that I get a profile here. If I drop this down, I can go down and select Add to Profiles. So it's actually going to copy the profile from this leaf and add it to my Profiles menu. So I'll hit this, and I'll just call this green leaf, and I'll hit OK. Once I do that, it's now saved, and I can close my stroke panel. I'll go back over to this leaf, select a Uniform, and change it to green leaf. Once I do that, I simply up the size until I get it where I need it to go. Something like 20 points. Now I'll zoom back out, and I can do this for each one of the leaves, or I can simply select all of them at once, set the stroke color to dark green, change the profile to green leaf, and change the width to 20. I'll zoom back out so you can see the finished piece of artwork. Now that I've got my finished product, you can see just how easy it was to change the entire look and feel of this artwork simply by utilizing a variable width stroke and then using the profile to apply to all of the different elements that existed on my screen. So as you start to work with variable width strokes, save your profiles as you go along. That way you've got them anytime you need to get back to them, and you can apply them to all of your artwork and even artwork in other projects.